welcome back. Today I want to dive into something that I have seen so many women struggle with over the years, and it's not talked about very often, which has to do with the trauma that can be stored in our wombs, as well as energetic implants. And this is something that causes a lot of pain. It also causes a lot of cycling and repeating the same patterns and continuously attracting men who do not respect you, who do not treat you well, and who are actually draining or siphoning your energy. And I'm going to try and explain it as simplified as I can. This is actually something that came up with a client earlier today, and it really made me extra passionate to pop on and talk about it because she had been through some pretty traumatic experiences in her past relationships and past intimate experiences with the partners that she was with before, and like really negative, really unhealthy, really toxic things. And she was very aware of this, although some of the times, like in the initial stages, she didn't realize and she didn't feel worthy of better. But the most recent experience that we were doing some healing around, she caught herself in the pattern repeating and this sort of shame spiral where she felt like she should have done things differently and it was her fault. And she was upset that she didn't protect herself or honor herself more, and kind of taking all the blame. And the masculine in this experience was definitely operating from a very lower and wounded masculine energy from everything that I heard and interpreted. And he took zero accountability for his actions, was projecting everything on her, like very narcissistic, and just very not responsible for his own accountability. And what this brought up and what this led to was the discussion of energetic implants and what that looks like, what that can create, and how to shift this. So before I dive in any further, I actually have a free quantum healing hypnosis activation that can support you with this. And it's all about activating the crystalline womb template and the crystalline womb architecture, which is the divine Christ Sophia architecture that women were created with and born with, but because of generations of trauma towards women, a lot of times this has been kind of disconnected, or we've become disconnected from the power of our wombs. So this hypnosis is going to help you clear and remove any pain, any trauma, any lower stories or programming that's basically attached onto the really powerful portal that you hold, and clear that out, remove that, and basically recalibrate it to a higher level of its architecture and the frequency so that you can manifest union, or definitely just manifest higher level relationships and experiences. I do apologize if it's getting a little bit loud. There is a storm coming through right now, so it just started raining, but perfect, because we're going to talk about like cleansing and releasing and everything, so that works. What I want you to understand on the base level, that link for the free activation is in the description below. I got sidetracked by the rain, but now back to the teaching, okay? So what I want you to understand is that there is a lot of interference on this planet, and there has been a lot of dark attacks to Sophia. Sophia is the divine feminine Christ energy. Most of us haven't even heard of that because we've been programmed in a very patriarchal, religious society where it's only about God, only about Jesus, and like the Father, the Holy Spirit, the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, right? It's all masculine. And the feminine has been painted really negatively in terms of the stories we've heard about Mary Magdalene and most women and like the sins that they carry, right? Adam and Eve, like everything has been designed to persecute the feminine. And it's really, really obvious actually when you take a step back and look at it, but it's hard to see otherwise, right? Because it's just so deeply ingrained in a lot of the teachings that so many of us grew up hearing about. But there are two aspects to God and the Creator, right? And there is the mother and the father. You cannot have creation without both. They're both necessary, right? So the union of the masculine and feminine templates and those higher level frequencies of them is what we want to tap into in order to manifest the union externally. Now, if you have a lot of wounding towards the masculine or a lot of self-worth issues because of all the ways women have been taught to disrespect themselves, to compare and judge themselves, to feel like we're never enough, right? To feel like we don't matter, we aren't needed. All these things can create trauma imprints and pain. The power is going out. Okay. But on top of that, so that's like the base level, media influence, you know, everything we see with TV shows, movies, music videos, lyrics in songs, and just the general lack of respect towards feminine energy and women and what it means to be a woman. We're just gonna vibe with this. It's like we're having a dance party while the lights go on and off. So we have that in the base 3D kind of matrixy level, right? But on a lower level, or not lower, but even deeper level, we have the constant attack from what I believe are different ET beings who do not want to see the feminine in her power and also don't want to see a healthy masculine and feminine coming together, because that would create a healthy family unit. We would be procreating and raising empowered new generations. We would be no longer slaves to the system. So there is a lot of dark entities and dark attacks towards the womb. And these lower level entities can work through human beings and work through very wounded people. And I want to notice or make a note before I go any further that this is not about blaming a specific person, because we've all been in places of wounding. So I know when I was going through some of my heaviest traumas, I do believe fully that there were lower level energies that were attaching to me at that time and trying to keep me down, to continue to siphon and access my life force and take from me. And it wasn't until I continued to do the work to repair and to feel whole, to feel worthy, to understand energetic protection and heal also my own womb trauma from being raped, that then I was able to feel more empowered and clear a lot of that out and no longer have these attachments from these negative entities. But what can happen is that if a man, for example, has a lot of trauma or wounding, and if he's not doing the inner work, then it's very possible and very likely for lower level entities to attach to his energy field to try to harm others and siphon and take from others. And so if you are not honoring your womb as the holy grail and the sacred portal that it is, and you are letting anyone access it, or people who are not respecting it, not respecting you, then those negative entities and those implants can all actually be connecting to you physically, because our womb stores cellular memory, but also energetically because your fields are merging when you're being intimate with someone. So what was supposed to be this beautiful sacred connection between loving partners has been so distorted on this planet, where women don't feel worthy of the best and everyone's operating in their wounding. No one's really respecting the feminine energy, and if women allow men to penetrate and enter, then they are opening themselves up to a lot of these potentially harmful energies. What happens is that once these things latch onto you, they can stay in your body, in your energy field, and almost cause like an addiction or a constant pull. And I've seen a lot of women who have these intense passion and feel like this guy's the man for me, even though he's treating me horribly. But it's almost like an abuser template that gets programmed into them and is keeping them attached. And so they're constantly feeding energy into this lower level entity that's just taking all the time and causing a lot of damage, causing a lot of harm. And if they leave that relationship, but if they don't spend time healing their womb and clearing out these energies and traumas, then they can end up holding that implant and attracting more men who match that same reflection. So they're repeating the cycle with a new partner all the time, constantly being treated poorly and literally desecrated, because there's such a lack of respect and lack of unconditional love in the dynamic, that this womb is now holding a lot of pain, a lot of trauma, and as a creation portal and a stargate to other galaxies, where we are bridging spiritual into material through the womb space. Imagine holding all this pain and trauma and wounding or negative implants, and now it's really hard to create through your divine template and from your divine blueprint and be creating the highest outcome and the highest desires, because there's all these distortions and negative energies attached down there. So this is where the work inside the Crystalline Womb Quantum Healing Hypnosis, that is linked in the description box. It's a free activation. It has transformed my life and so many of my students that I've shared it with. Again, as someone who had gone through a lot of negative experiences myself, I fully believe that the experience I had with being raped, that he was being used by a negative energy. Like, I don't believe it was actually him, if that makes sense. It felt very inhuman, and like clearly to have done something like that, but it felt like there was something really sinister attached that was trying to get access to me and my field and cause me immense pain. And I had to do a lot of work around healing my womb to clear out that trauma and then begin to open up to calling in my beloved and calling in really healthy, loving connections with masculine energy, and literally rewriting the template of all the trauma and what I thought I deserved because of it to a higher level of how I want to be treated and respected and honored and cherished and loved. And it's this same process that has helped clients of mine manifest their soulmates and call in beautiful, loving relationships and truly feel empowered within themselves, because they're no longer giving power away or being siphoned without knowing. So if you have experienced any kind of wounding or trauma, or if you have been stuck in unwanted cycles and patterns and you know you deserve better, or if you just feel like something's a bit off, or you don't feel as magnetic and you want to clear this and really activate the higher level powers that your womb space holds, then this is the activation to do it. It's also part of what I go into inside my quantum healing hypnosis bundle called Union, which is all about activating the divine masculine, divine feminine templates, coming into that higher level divine union within and externally with the counterpart that is designed by God for you and for your highest timeline. And the crystalline womb healing is just one part of like 10 different trainings and hypnosis activations that I have inside there. So I'm also going to drop the link down below in the description for Union if you want to dive right into all of that, or you can start with the free hypnosis for the crystalline womb. Both links are down below. And I just want to end this by reminding you that you're so powerful and you're so worthy and you deserve the best. So if you are not receiving that, then please start here. Start here, because it's time to reprogram yourself, to remember who you are and how special you are, and start manifesting and creating and birthing a new reality and a new relationship template from there. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you again soon.